Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today, on this Saturday, the Astros take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros have lost 9 in a row, their longest losing streak since September of 2009, and it's tough to turn it around against a Zach Greinke, but that's the job they're faced with today, Jay.
Yeah, they're going to need an outstanding start from Wandy Rodriguez. You would have to assume Zach Greinke's been one of the best pitchers in the National League this year with that 9-2 record, 3.08 ERA, very low walk totals. He strikes out a bunch, just one tough right-hander. Wandy 6-6 with a 354, coming off a pretty solid outing last time out against the Cubs. He got beat, but allowed just 3 runs in 7 innings.
It's the Astros and the Brewers for the second time in this next-to-last game. Up for the All-Star break. Scott Moore put one out last night, but the Brewers hit 3. They won it 7-1. Game 2 is just around the corner.
Insurance Group calls 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. That's a ticket, part of a demonstration over in Union Station of Astro history, and that, of course, inside the shed where you can buy your own new Astro history. Some of these people are doing halves and halves. All sorts of combinations. As the Astros take the field, second game of this series with the Milwaukee Brewers, Wandy has crossed the lines. And so that means let's go upstairs to the booth where Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies will have the call.
Thank you, Greg. You see the Saturday crowd getting set, and Wandy Rodriguez brings that 6-6 record to the mound against this Brewers batting order brought to you by Hyundai. It's Carlos Gomez in center field, Norichika Aoki in right, Brian Braun's the left fielder, and it's Aramis Ramirez cleaning it up at third base. Corey Hart plays first base with Ricky Weeks at second. The catcher batting seventh is Martin Maldonado. It's Cesar Izturis starting at shortstop. Zach Greinke, a 9-game winner on the mound.
This is Wandy's first appearance against the Brewers this year for his career. He's 7-8 with a 3.78 ERA. He's made 20 starts, 1 relief appearance against them. Last year he was 0-2, but a good ERA of 3.00 in 3 starts against the Crew. Defensively, the Astros looked like this today. Martinez, Schaefer, Bogasevic, Scott Moore in there at third base. The youngster Dominguez is off today. Lowry, Altuve, CJ round out the infield. Jason Castro behind the plate.
Back home for the Astros, where they lost last night, but they're 23-20 in this ballpark. They're pitching so much better here than it has been on the road. And Wandy is 3-4 at home with a 3.60 ERA. He goes against the club, which is 5th in runs scored in the National League. And the Brewers hit 3 long balls last night, belted out 10 hits as they won it 7-1. Now, Carlos Gomez leading it off here in this game has 5 homers, 18 runs batted in. With a 241 average, he batted in a run last night with a 7th inning triple, going 1 for 5. And Gomez always a threat to bunt. Scott Moore's in tied at third. Chris Johnson is shortened up at first base for Gomez. First pitch to him is foul back. There's strike one for Wandy. Last time for Wandy, a 3-0 loss Sunday at Chicago. The 4th time the Astros have been shut out when he's been their starting pitcher. It's 1-1 with Joe West, the home plate umpire, and he is the crew chief. Sam Holbrook, Mike Estabrook, Rob Drake joining him on this crew.
Joe West has a reputation of being pretty tight behind the plate with his strike zone. Very consistent, good ball and strike guy, but he usually does not give the pitchers the benefit of the doubt on those borderline calls. We'll keep an eye on it here this afternoon. Joe's been at this a long time. Cowboy Joe.
Yeah. He is fun to be around. There's a foul ball back that keeps the count of 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gomez, 26 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Wandy is pitching for the first time this season against Milwaukee. Faced them 3 times last year. He has not beaten their club since July 31st of 2010. Good breaker, but it gets by. And here's the throw from Castro, and whoa, he did that well. He had to throw to the foul side, and Chris Johnson gave him a good target over there. CJ hasn't played much first, but he did that well.
Fairly predictable outcome with 2 strikes on Gomez, that he'd offer at that curveball in the dirt if he could execute it. And Wandy did just that. Jason kind of clanked it, but good hustle to scramble back and a good accurate throw to get the speedy Gomez. Looked like he was doing the high hurdles there at the end.
Yeah. Big stretch on that final step. And Castro made the good throw. Just got him for out number 1. So Wandy opens with the strikeout. Now moves along to a guy who homered last night. Norichika Aoki takes strike 1. It was his 5th home run of the season. He hit a bolt in the first inning off Jay Happ last night to get Milwaukee off and running.
Fastball, curveball, changeup for Wandy. He throws his curveball more than any other pitcher in the league. And why not? It's a good one.
Got that in for a strike, and it's 1-2. Aoki's on a 13-game hitting streak, and he's hit .420 during those 13 games, going 21 for 50. Slaps the curveball to shortstop. Jed Lowry takes care of out number 2. Now it's Ryan Braun. People who were watching batting practice saw Brad Mills walk up to Ryan Braun. They had a brief conversation. They shook hands. And the theory, the interpretation behind that is Braun was hit by a pitch last night in the 9th inning by Reiner Cruz with 2 outs. And just to reassure him, hey, we weren't throwing at you. He's hitting .412 against Wandy.
And the Brewers retaliated. Levon Hernandez, well, was ruled a hit by pitch. I still think he missed Jason Castro, but he threw it in there on Castro and it was ruled a hit by pitch. Mills just wanted to make sure that there was no bad blood. Hey, we're not trying to hit you. Reiner just loses command of that fastball. It was the kind of pitch that if you really wanted to drill somebody, that's the pitch you would have made. And hit him right in the back.
Brewers are 7 games out of first place right now, so it's doable for them, but they've just not gotten on a run all season long. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Brewers hit back-to-back home runs in the first inning to take the lead last night. Braun obviously one of them, but he's got great numbers against Wandy. He's a .412 hitter against Wandy. 14 out of 34, 4 of those 14 hits have been long balls.
2 balls and a strike. He leads the league with 24. And he's second with his 60 runs batted in. He's also third in slugging with a .602 percentage there. Curveball just missed the outside edge. That brings the count to 3-1. Ramos Ramirez on deck. Braun takes a 2-out walk. That's his 34th walk of the year, and the count turns over fresh for Ramos Ramirez. Ramirez is having a fine season. He's driven in 51 with 10 homers and a .271 average.
Well, he too has pretty fat numbers against Wandy. .349 is his average, 15 out of 43. Same can be said for Ricky Weeks and Corey Hart. My goodness, all those right-handed hitters with big numbers against Wandy.
Ramirez looks at that pitch for ball 1. He had a couple of hits.
Wandy's been squeezed a couple times already.
You've indicated that often is the strike zone for Joe West, and he's well established that down through the years. .349 for Ramos against this lefty. Now it's 2-0 with Corey Hart on deck. Ramirez joined the Brewers this season, and he has provided exactly what they had hoped it would appear, but they lost Prince Fielder, so lost a lot of offense there.
There's tremendous power alley to alley, really drives the ball to right center well. He didn't want to give in 2-0, so he tried to drop in a curveball, couldn't catch the top of the zone. He is very frustrated, but you got to hang in there and battle. It is what it is. Joe has a tight zone. You got to figure out a way to compete.
Braun goes on 3-0, and there's a smash on a line, and it is a hit in front of Schaefer in center field. He blocks the ball and throws into second base, so it's first and third, 2 outs on the single by Ramirez, swinging on 3-0 with Braun setting sail. And now Corey Hart has 2 men on.
Nice job of keeping that ball in front of him by Jordan Schaefer. I like the play by the Brewers, starting Braun there with 3-0. Figure if it's a fastball in the zone, Ramirez is going to hit it. If it's a swing and miss or a called strike, if he can get that bag, he's standing there in scoring position with a 3-1 count to Ramirez.
.254 for Hart, including 16 homers. Altuve plays him up the middle. That's ball 1 to Hart. Boy.
I'm just trying to figure out who's going to yell at Joe first, Wandy or Doug Brocail.
I'll go with Doug on that one.
Yeah, I will too.
That pitch looks good on Fox Tracks. Now it's 2 balls, no strikes, and Hart has walked 23 times in a very favorable position. He's 17 for 44, 386 against Wandy.
Yeah, this grouping here, Braun, Ramirez, Hart, and Weeks, all consecutively in the batting order, all with outstanding numbers against Wandy.
There's a smash, and it goes out to Altuve, who takes it to the bag for the force play on Ramirez. No runs, a hit, 2 men left, and now it's Schaefer, Altuve, and more coming up in the bottom of the first. come up with this Hyundai starting lineup for Brad Mills. And it begins with center fielder Jordan Schaefer. Jose Altuve bats second, playing second base. Scott Moore's in the 3 spot, playing third today. J.D. Martinez, the cleanup man, as the left fielder, with Jed Lowry, Chris Johnson, Jason Castro, Brian Bogasevic, and Wandy Rodriguez rounding out the starters.
28-year-old right-hander Zach Greinke for the Brewers today, and he's made 4 starts against the Astros. He's won them all with an ERA of 2. He's 3-0 with a 171 here at Minute Maid Park.
First pitch banged into center field. Diving try. It gets by Carlos Gomez. Jordan Schaefer off to the races. He's headed for third. Dave Clark is going to wave him around third and stop him there as the throw comes to the plate. Whoa, he would have been out. Good call, Dave Clark. As Schaefer winds up at third. Brewers executed. And with nobody out, that's too big a risk for Dave Clark to take.
Yeah, oh yeah. He made the right call. Sure was fun to watch. You could see it coming. Gomez, very gifted athlete, but sometimes reckless on the bases and in the field. A sinking line drive. Decides to leave his feet and cannot keep his body behind it to at least knock it down. And Schaefer is off to the races. If not for the great speed by Gomez to recover and get that ball back in, he would have circled the bases.
And now he's bent over outside third base. It's the right hamstring he's feeling for as head athletic trainer Nate Lucero and Brad Mills come over, with Jordan Schaefer really having to leg it out on that, and he is in some pain, it appears. Might have been when he stopped, JD, because he had a full head of steam going here. Looks like he stepped over the base and hit it with his heel, and that might have thrown him off stride and caused that right hamstring some aggravation. And it's really tough because Jordan's trying to get established here. He's gone through difficult times lately. And Brian Pixler getting loose on the bench. Schaefer's going to stay in. That's his second triple of the year. Now Hart is in tight, so is Ramirez, with Altuve coming up. 299 is his average, including 5 homers. He's driven in 25. Jose 1 point below 300 after going 0 for 4 last night. And he fouls it back, strike 1. Altuve is 4 for 9 with an RBI against Zach Greinke. He has Schaefer at third, nobody out, trying to get the first run home.
Altuve is really worn out. Brewer pitching last night. He took an 0-fer, but 352 his batting average against the Brewers last year. And this
in the dirt. There's a good stop by Maldonado. Ball, 1 strike.
Greinke, a 4-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball, slider, change. Gets a lot of swings and misses. 106 strikeouts in 108 innings. He's only walked 24.
He beat the Astros in Milwaukee April 23rd, giving up 2 runs in 6 innings. Ground ball will get the run home. Hart lays out for it, tosses, and safe at first. Altuve beats it out. It's 1-0 Houston. He gets an RBI.
Greinke just got ejected.
Oh,
this is unbelievable.
First base umpire Sam Holbrook ran him.
Wow. That is unbelievable. And that's unbelievable. That's bad umpiring. To eject a pitcher, and there goes Greinke, and he has his way. He'll eject the whole club. Greinke spiked the ball in frustration. Maybe warrants a fine. That bad umpiring, but what a break for the Astros. Bang bang play here at first base. Boom. Either way, doesn't matter. It's very difficult to dispute the call either way. But the way the game has started for Greinke with the misplay in center field and then frustration, bang. I don't know that he even said anything. That's unbelievable.
Well, if he did, he was pointed away from Holbrook. It would have been hard to hear him.
That is unbelievable.
Talk about a quick hook.
Yeah. That, Greinke's going to get his money worth with Joe West and everybody else. A lot of disappointed scouts here today came to see Greinke pitch as the trade deadline nears.
Good grief. Greinke threw 4 pitches, and he's out of the game. And trailing 1-0. And the Brewers have lost a pitcher who's 9-2 with a 3.08 ERA. 4-0 against Houston. Damage has already been done, but now more damage is going to be done as Renick's thrown out.
Sam Holbrook is just, you know, almost the expression on his face when Renick was arguing with him was that of a guy who's like, I probably messed this up. But
Livan Hernandez is coming off the bench. He wasn't even in the bullpen, and he's going to start warming up. He was in last night's game. He pitched 2 innings in the 7th, in the 8th, and 9th last night, so he'll be warming up for a while. It's 1-0 Houston after the surprising turn of events. Back in a moment. And here's a look at the play.
Yeah, Bang Bang play at first base. And Greinke in frustration spikes the ball. I don't believe he said a word. You know, if a hitter pops up or strikes out in a critical situation and flings his bat, he doesn't get ejected. I mean, this is rare to see a pitcher react like this. But this, to me, that's just horrible umpiring.
Renick gets tossed by Holbrook. Kind of reminiscent of that Roger Clemens playoff game real early when he got tossed many years ago.
I'm mad at myself, man. What are you doing? That's just horrible. Holbrook's going to hear about it from the league on this one. Has to.
1-0 Astros. Altuve at first. Hernandez ready to face Scott Moore. Moore hit a long ball last night to extend his hitting streak to 7 games. Takes this pitch, ball 1. And he's really filled in capably after getting a chance to come up from Oklahoma City. Hernandez is 2-1. His ERA is 4.95. And that was a stunning, quick ejection. Foul back by Moore. It's a 1-1 strike count.
You Sam had a bad morning. Somebody burned his toast. Bitter coffee. You know, we have bad days sometimes.
Well, for a starting pitcher, though, he's been waiting 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's out of the game after 4 pitches. 1-1 strike. And it's 1-2 for Scott Moore. Hit a home run in that Pittsburgh series. So Scott Moore is taking advantage of this playing time so far. He's gone 9 for 27 during his 7-game hitting streak.
I guess it would be unprecedented for an umpire to recant his ejection That would have been the only smart play by Holbrook at that point.
Altuve's going, swing and a foul ball.
Well, the Astros were geared up to face one of the toughest pitchers in baseball in Greinke. Swing and miss stuff, and now they face the veteran, crafty Livan Hernandez. Came in relief last night. Topped out at 86 miles an hour. His average fastball this year is more in the 83 mile an hour range. He's not about blowing you away. It's all about changing speeds and moving the ball around. Got to be patient.
You talk about different approaches from Greinke to Hernandez.
He's still getting loose.
Yeah.
Might not have had his shoes tied when he was told he was in this game.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Last night, in his 2 scoreless innings, he threw 33 pitches. And probably just in the game here until they can figure out what they want to do next. It would be nice if he could give them some innings, but he just went 2 last night.
He's an Iron Man. He's a rubber man. He'd probably pitch 6 innings today if he's effective.
JD Martinez on deck. More swings and misses, and he's down on strikes. 1 out. Milwaukee bullpen has an ERA of 4.73.
They've had a very difficult time. John Axford, the closer, has struggled, giving up a lot of leads. Livan, one of those guys a hitter will contemplate moving up in the batter's box against. You can deal with that soft serve a little better.
Yeah. He was with the Astros in spring training. JD Martinez, 233, 11 homers, has 48 runs batted in. Hernandez delivers strike 1.
Well, Ron Renicky and Zach Greinke, they could catch a matinee. It's only 3:30.
Yeah.
I mean, no sense just having your whole day ruined. They could go catch a matinee and come back and catch the 9th inning probably.
A good idea if they don't go to the same theater for that matinee, though. No balls and a strike.
You think they'd get ejected?
They probably would.
Some ill-tempered usher. You're out of here.
That would be the ultimate. In tight, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
See, to me, an umpire should be more patient with the manager and the pitcher than anybody else, because those are the 2 guys that have more invested in the game than anybody. They're the guys whose wins and losses are pinned to their record, the manager and the starting pitcher.
Pitch in the dirt, and that's ball 2. Maldonado came up out of there, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Livan Hernandez, 37 years old, Cuban born, and his career with the Florida Marlins. Then he was a Giant, and he joined the Montreal club in 03, moving with them to Washington, and he belonged to Arizona. Foul back, 2-2 now. He was a Twin, he was a Rocky, he was a Met, and back to the Nationals.
Still seems to be amused by this whole deal that he's in this game right now.
He made 29 starts for Washington last year, going 8-13 with a 4.47 ERA. Altuve's running. There's a grounder right behind him, and it trickles, and Weeks is diving for it. He's throwing toward third. Altuve's safe there, and it's 1st and 3rd. Altuve was racing for second. Weeks went to cover. JD Martinez hit a little roller. Weeks got back, but couldn't get anybody out on it.
Well, sometimes you need a little good fortune, right? You're trying to break a 9-game losing streak. There was the misplay by Gomez in center. A base hit to the first baseman. Now a base hit to the second baseman. A weak little ground ball with Altuve on the move. Weeks breaks the cover, has to run back in the other direction.
3 hits in the inning, and it's Jed Lowry batting. 1st and 3rd, 1 out for Lowry, who has 35 runs batted in to go with 14 homers and a .253 average. Jed takes that one, and it's strike one to him. Lowry last night was 0 for 3 with a walk. Jed's hitting 150 in July with 3 hits and 30 at bats. Infield shifts around, playing him to pull. He looks at a strike, and it's 0-2.
Greinke's probably in the clubhouse thinking, if my club doesn't come back and at least take the lead at some point in this game, I'm going to have a 2-batter L on my record. That's a hang with him.
Boy. Shocker.
I've done all my Zach Greinke homework too. I've just had unbelievable nuggets of information to share with you about Zach Greinke.
Can you imagine if a scout had flown for 2 or 3 hours to get here just to watch Greinke, and he's gone after 4 pitches? Because the rumors are swirling.
Oh, I guarantee there's some guys here that came in, well, not just for Greinke, but Wandy too, but Greinke due to be a free agent at the end of the year. There's a lot of talk as to whether the Brewers will try to extend him, keep him in the fold or not. Price tag apparently went way up after Matt Cain signed his deal with the Giants. Here's a few of the boys.
Yeah. What'd you think about pitching Greinke tomorrow?
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Marco Estrada is down to pitch. Usually the last game before the All-Star break. The managers view that as a Johnny Holstaff kind of game. They'll use anybody to win if they have to. And Sam Holbrook will be umpiring home plate tomorrow. So maybe not.
Well, maybe if Sam feels guilty about today, he'd have a big zone for Greinke tomorrow.
That's true, too. Lowry strikes out. Hernandez pulling the string. That's a big K for the Brewers. Out number 2, and Chris Johnson comes up.
Talked about soft stuff from Levon. You gotta be patient. Get you out on that front foot. Some guys don't like, I think it used to happen more in years past than it does now, of hitters making adjustments in the batter's box. Some guys just like to be in a certain spot. They're comfortable there. They don't like to change depending on the pitcher. But this is the type of guy. Years ago, hitters would talk about moving up in the box, and you still see it every now and then.
274 for Chris Johnson. 6 homers, 34 runs batted in for the third baseman turned first baseman. There's strike one. Brad Mills said they're discussing a lot of things about the roster after the All-Star break, but Chris was told he'll be playing some first this weekend, and then after that, Jeff Luhnow's on record as saying he's our third baseman. He takes, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Brett Wallace is among those names being discussed to join the club after the All-Star break. Justin Maxwell is on an injury rehab assignment, played last night. Marwin Gonzalez also on a rehab assignment. Not sure if he would be ready by Friday. Possibly not. So there are many things in the mix as far as second half moves for this club. Could be several moves coming up by Friday. 2 balls and a strike with Castro on deck. CJ had a hit and a walk in last night's game. Immediate task to snap this 9-game losing streak today. Check swing foul into the crowd. 2-2, Chris Johnson. Chris, a .268 career hitter against the Brewers with 2 homers, 14 runs batted in, hoping to get a pitch he can drive here. Don't know if you saw the highlight show last night. Some guy in San Diego in the second deck just got drilled by a foul ball. He wasn't watching.
I did see that. He was texting.
Whoa! And that one shot into the Astros dugout pretty quickly. Watch out.
How'd that get in there? Go through the fence?
Yeah, it went right through that opening where the stairs are. Rattled around behind Joe Patini.
There's a little gap there.
Joe will be in the All-Star contingent. leaving after the game tomorrow, along with Jose Altuve, his family, and Gene Coleman and Barbara, headed for Kansas City. Now it's 3-2. And Martinez, the runner at first, will be moving on the next one. 23 pitches for Livan Hernandez. For just joining us, Zach Greinke gave up a triple to Schaefer, an infield hit to Altuve, and then he was tossed out of the game after spiking the ball after the call on Altuve at first, which was a very close call. And in the dirt, ball 4, loading the bases for Jason Castro. Chris Johnson took his 17th walk. Castro, with 18 runs batted in, has a shot here with 3 men on. He had 2 hits last night, and he was hit by a pitch, we think.
Yeah, it was Livan pitching in relief for the Brewers after Reiner Cruz had hit Braun, and discussed this earlier. It wasn't intentional, but if you were in the Brewer dugout, it probably looked intentional because Braun had gone deep earlier in the game, and Reiner drilled him right in the back. So Livan felt compelled to retaliate, threw one in on Jason. I'm not sure if it hit him or not, but he was given his base.
He's hit .314 his last 22 games. There's ball 1 to Jason. And throwing very well, too. Made an excellent throw to second base last night on a steal by Aoki. Aoki was barely safe, but the throw was terrific. Brian Bogusevic is on deck. Well, this Astros starting 9 certainly vastly different compared to a year ago. Over the bat, it's out toward the first stacker. Chris Johnson heads back to the base. He didn't know where the ball went, I don't think.
He had to duck the bat, and in so doing, he took his eye off the ball. And said, I better get back to first just in case they take a shot at me.
Yeah, you don't want to be picked off on that.
If Hart had gone to the bag and Maldonado made a throw, they would have had him. But Hart was more concerned with making a play on the bat.
Hart was fielding the bat.
Livan should have broke to cover first.
Yeah.
Hart could have flipped the bat to him.
This game has all the aspects of craziness.
This is when we'd be looking for that full moon. But
oh yeah,
it's the middle of the day. The moon will be out before this game is over, however. Gonna feel we're going to be here a while.
It's just a shame Randy Wolf is not pitching. 2 balls and a strike. To fit that team.
He's looking for a dish of beef chow mein.
Yes. 2-1 to count. Castro to center field. Gomez back in center, and Gomez dragged it down. Very interesting first inning. The Astros get a run on 3 hits. They leave 3, and it's 1-0 Houston after 1. game brought to you by Miller Lite. And they're enjoying their time out on the Budweiser patio watching this ball game, which is a 1-0 ball game. The Astros getting that lead on Altuve's RBI infield single after the triple by Schaefer, misplayed by Gomez. A lot of weird things happening in that Astros first. These folks digesting it all as the second inning rolls around, and it's Ricky Weeks leading it off. Weeks has drawn 45 walks. That's fifth best in the National League. Last night he hit a 2-run homer into the Astros bullpen in right center, going 1 for 4. His batting average not much to write home about, 194. He's among those JD mentioned who has hit well against Wandy, 353 lifetime, 12 for 34 with a homer.
Great swing of the bat last night when he rocketed that home run into the Astros bullpen. He's been swinging it better of late.
This one goes to center field. Schaefer backing. Interesting day for the center fielders early. One out. And now it's Martin Maldonado filling in for the injured Jonathan Lucroy, who was off to a sensational start when he went down with a broken right hand. Expected to return sometime after the All-Star break. Maldonado is teaming with the other catcher to provide a 265 average, 5 homers, 17 runs batted in. And George Kataris is the other catcher. Here's ball 1. Cesar Torres on deck. It's a strike for Wandy. That makes it 1-1. When you're working, JD, as a pitcher with the tight strike zone, you're thinking probably you need to get the hitter to swing the bat. You need to come in there more, right? But
well, yeah, it's kind of like a hitter with a big zone now. How much do you change your game to accommodate the umpire's strike zone? The thing about Wandy, his curveball is so good. You know, he doesn't have to give in. Sometimes if you don't get the corner call with your fastball, you feel like you have to throw the fastball more over the heart of the plate. Wandy, because his curveball is so good, can just opt to throw that pitch more often, try to get ahead with a little get over breaking ball.
That's excellent for strike 3. Strikeout number 2. Cesar Torres comes up. Torres, a 207 hitter with 1 homer, has driven in 8. He was 0 for 1 in last night's game. That's strike 1 to him. Cody Ransom started at short last night, going 0 for 4. Ransom bats right as Torres is a switch hitter. Lines 1 to Chris Johnson. And in the second, it goes quickly for the Brewers in 1-2-3 fashion. 1-0 Houston.
Join us for our next Flashback Friday presented by the Methodist Hospital System. It'll be July 27th against the Pirates. Astros will wear the 80 shoulder rainbow jerseys on the field. Mike Scott will toss the ceremonial first pitch. And after the game, Friday night fireworks brought to you by Marathon Oil. Tickets, of course, at Astros.com. I got one note for you guys. The quickest ejection of a starting pitcher in baseball history was not tied today. The record is still only 2. John Lackey was thrown out after 2 pitches, Angels versus Texas in 09. Second pitch behind Ian Kinsler's head. Bob Davidson said goodbye. Babe Ruth only went 4. That's the most famous one, but 2 is actually the record. So Greinke only tied for second with Babe Ruth.
Ryan Bogusevic batting.
Didn't Ruth? Did he punch the umpire?
Yeah.
And then Ernie Shore came in and retired like 27 in a row.
Right. Babe walked the leadoff man, then he got into it with the umpire. It's gone. Check swing call there by the third base umpire, Rob Drake. And makes it 2-2.
Scott Ellerton got ejected in Kansas City. I think one batter into a game once.
I believe you're right.
Well, it was thought to be an intentional drilling, but was not.
Line single into right field by Bogusevic, and the number 8 hitter is aboard for Wandy Rodriguez. Hit number 4 for the Astros. Number 2 off Livan Hernandez, who is due to lead off the third inning. And now Wandy looks down, and Dave Clark has signs for him. He has 5 sacrifice bunts. He's 0 for 29. And Jordan Schaefer's on deck. He gets it down, but it trickles foul. There's strike 1 to Wandy. Well, that sure wrecks a manager's plans when his starting pitcher, who's 9-2 by the way, is gone after 2 batters. And the manager's gone, so Jerry Narron takes over, the bench coach. And he has managed in the big leagues, Texas, Cincinnati. So it's a veteran hand running things, but nonetheless, losing personnel early, that's upsetting. Popped up. Maldonado sliding, can't get there. Because he slid, he came up short. But he was getting close to the wall.
And I think if he stays on his feet, he's able to catch the ball. He might have gone crashing into the camera well down there. It's a tough play, though, because if it's a high pop-up, you have time to kind of find where you are on the field, see the railing, see the ball. This ball not in the air all that long.
No, it wasn't.
But again, he had enough room to make that play.
Wandy gets another shot on 0-2. Bunts in the air again, and this one's caught. Yeah, he just, normally he's decent bunting, but he looked like he lost his guidance there on how to put a bunt down, JD.
He did. That was not his best effort. He usually is pretty good. He hasn't hits yet this year either. Wandy's in an offensive slump.
Moved the bat up to where the ball was. Usually you're taught to set your bat at the top of the strike zone, and above that, don't go for it. Schaefer led off the Astros first with a triple. A ball Gomez tried to catch. He made a diving effort for it. Schaefer then tweaked his hamstring running. We've got all kinds of things going now. He puts a bunt down. Barehanded. Livan throwing to Hart in time to get him. And Bogusevic goes to second on out number 2.
Now, Livan may be carrying a little extra weight, but he's very athletic. What happened last time Altuve came up there, the bang-banger at first. Frustration from Greinke. And then the quick hook. Matt and myself is pleading his case, but the verdict had already been rendered.
Now Altuve has a runner at second and 2 outs. He looks at ball 1. Altuve with 93 hits this season, off to a very good first half. Wound up with 200 professional hits last year, starting at Class A and going to Double A and then to the big league club. Fouls that one back. 1-1. Jose said he and his family will return from Kansas City And he'll come back here and then travel on to San Francisco with the Astros on Thursday instead of going directly there from KC. Very exciting time for all these All-Stars. That All-Star jersey they gave him last night appeared to be a little large for him. 2 balls and a strike.
So they wear those All-Star jerseys, right? I liked it better when they used to wear their own team jerseys.
Yeah.
I don't know why they went away from that.
Don't know. Probably marketing reasons. 3 balls and a strike. Well, for instance, the year the All-Star game was here, people would buy those jerseys as All-Star jerseys that probably already had an Astros jersey.
I'll put a little All-Star patch on it or something.
True. Back to center field, sending Gomez on a deep ride, but he's there for the 3rd out. And the Astros get a leadoff single, but it's no runs a hit and a man left. They lead it after 2, 1-0. Proceeds from this book go to the National Foundation for Ectodermal Dysplasias. Zach is joining us today. Zach is going to be our progressive fan of the game. And the book is dedicated to Zach. Zach's 12 years old. Good to have you here, buddy.
Yes, sir, it is.
You having an interesting time of it with all these strange events during this game?
Yes, sir, I am. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you again. You started a golf tournament. There's a bouncer up the middle by Levon Hernandez, fielded by Jose Altuve. And all the proceeds go to the National Foundation for Ectodermal Dysplasias.
Yes.
And that's coming up in August, right?
Yes, sir. August 12th at Wilmot Pines Golf Club.
Great.
So far, we have raised $100,000 for our foundation, and we hope to keep succeeding through these years. And we hope to be getting more people coming out to the golf tournament. So if you'd like to, registration is on don'tspreaditgolf.com, and we'd love you to have you at the tournament.
All right, and we also have that book we want to tell people about. As Gomez bats and takes ball 1. He bunts, and that's going to go foul. And that book is available at several outlets and, of course, online. And you can go to mybaseballjourney.com and find out a lot more about it. You can read a portion of it if you like, decide if you want to buy it or not for $14.99. And then we have some book signings coming up, Zach. We're going to be busy over the All-Star break, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
Well, Monday night, we're going to be at Lakewood Church at 7 o'clock, 4th floor, men's ministry. And we'll speak, and your dad, Paul, will speak. Your mom, Susan, will be there. There's a foul ball back. And then Tuesday night, we have a watch party prior to the All-Star game from 5:30 to 7 at the Downtown Club at the Met. That's near I-45, downtown Houston. And Wednesday, we have a book signing at 7 o'clock at the Brazos Bookstore. in Rice Village. So we'll be seeing a lot of each other. There's the strikeout and the throw out at first base. Are you geared up for all those appearances, Zach?
Yes, sir. And my mom and dad play a big role in my tournament because they've been helping me through all these years and being so kind of helping me through life and being there for me whenever I need it.
They're a great team, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Zach, you pitch. Something's wrong here with Jason Castro. We don't know what that is.
He got something in his eye, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, baseball could have him in the eye and picked it up and threw it first.
Okay, now, Zach, when you're pitching, you're out in the heat, and you don't have sweat glands, so how do you keep cool? How do you handle that?
I drink plenty of water and plenty of Gatorade. My parents have a frog tog, which they just pour on my head, and I feel great. And I'm an undefeated pitcher, so I feel pretty good about that.
Undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Have you read the book yet? Bits and pieces?
Yes, I'm doing some pieces. Yeah. I haven't read the whole thing yet. Yeah.
There's plenty of time, plenty of time.
That's what summer vacation's all about.
Yes, sir.
Castro ready to go again now, and here's Aoki stepping up. He slapped a ground ball to shortstop first time up. We're going to have a great time at those 3 appearances over the All-Star break, and then more coming up later. But it's really been good getting to know you and your family, and we're almost like the same family now, aren't we, Zach?
Well, kinda.
Yeah, kinda. There's strike one.
I think we'll get a lot of people to come at the All-Star break book signing.
That's right. And you're getting used to signing these books. Mm-hmm. You like doing that?
Yes, sir.
When you meet all these fine people?
It's just, you have everybody coming up to you and says, I want your autograph, I want your autograph. And it just continues over and over again.
Yeah, the paparazzi, man, they're all over you.
That's going to stay on the line. Zach, did you ever get a hit like that?
Well, not exactly, but I have done some pretty big hits in my day.
Yeah.
And by the way, my dad is my coach, an excellent coach.
He is, but this stays right on the line. Would you have let that ball go foul like they did, Zach?
Well, if it's right on the line, Major League Baseball rule says it's fair.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure they thought it was going to go foul, right?
And
it just didn't work out for them. But
it's a 50-50 chance there.
That's right.
Well, so you're still working with Biz? You're still a bench coach for Craig?
Mm-hmm. And I just got a job of the football team bench coach as well.
Wow.
Ooh.
See, me and Craig Biggio have been friends for about 3 years now, and I've been his bench coach on the St. Thomas baseball team. And if you'd like to come watch us, we have seasons from February to late May. So if you want to come watch us, we're more than welcome to have as many fans as we can. And 2 of our players have actually been drafted by Major League Ball clubs.
Yes. And you've won 2 state championships while you've been the bench coach.
Yes, sir. And we were runner-up in this last one.
Well, what did Coach Biggio give you when you were part of those state championship teams?
He gave me a Letterman's jacket and a ring of our first state championship.
Wow. You got a ring?
Yes, I did, sir. It's a little bit big for my finger, but I'll go into it.
Line to Lowry. Zach, great to have you on the air with us, and continued success with all your efforts.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be fun over the All-Star break. Zach Ham. And we're going to give him those gifts for being our progressive fan of the game. Back tomorrow.
On 1966, this date, the Astros depart on a 12-day road trip while the grounds crew replaces the outfield's green dirt. It used to be grass, but it was painted. They replaced it with AstroTurf, the last chunk of green dirt boxed and shipped to Chicago's Leo DeRocher, a vocal critic of the new surface.
Livan Hernandez throwing the changeup to Scott Moore.
That's Bill Giles shipping it to Leo. Bill, of course, was the son of the National League president. He was rather wild guy.
Deep drive by Scott Moore. Has he done it again with home run number 3 as an Astro? Scott Moore makes it 2-0 Houston with his 3rd long ball in 8 games.
An Astro club that has really been lacking in power most of the year. Finding a little bit here with Scott Moore, kind of a journeyman guy, 28 years of age, former first-round pick. Put up very good numbers down in AAA. He's been in the big leagues before with both Chicago and Baltimore. And this has really been nice to see. All 3 of his home runs, as soon as they left his bat, there was no doubt about it.
That's J.D. Martinez batting. And he gets a slider for strike 1. He got the infield hit on the hit and run with Altuve moving. Low curveball gets a swing and a miss for Livan Hernandez. No balls, 2 strikes. Scott Moore makes it 2-0. Gives the Astros their 76th long ball of the year. And he has injected some nice pop into the lineup since he arrived from Oklahoma City. It's 1-2 with Jed Lowry on deck. Figured to be a very difficult task today with Zach Greinke on the mound, but little did we think he'd be gone after 2 batters. Now the Astros trying to build a comfortable cushion for Brad Mills to snap this 9-game losing streak. In the air, foul, and it's still a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah. Sometimes when you go to the theater, you get that notice that the star is not in the show. They're going with an understudy. And sometimes the understudy is just as good as the star, but completely different stuff here when you deal with Livan Hernandez versus Zach Greinke. Greinke, one of the elite pitchers in baseball right now. Livan, the journeyman, just trying to hang on.
Check swing call. He checked it. And it's 3-2 on Martinez. Washington leads Colorado 1-0. They're in the last of the 3rd at Washington. Ian Desmond hit his 16th home run. Fastball line into right field. Martinez aboard with a single, and it's back-to-back hits for the Astros for the 2nd time in this game.
And JD 2 for 2 today. Last time up, he hit a little roller on a run and hit play towards second base. Turned into a knock. This time he stays inside the ball nicely and shoots that line drive to right.
Lowry struck out with runners at 1st and 3rd for the 2nd out in the 1st inning. Jed coming around here against Hernandez for the 2nd time. And that one goes foul. Strike 1 to Jed. There was some conversation during the Brad Mills session with the media today about who's going to become the leader of this club now. It's a younger club with Carlos Lee leaving the premises and moving on to the Miami Marlins. Jed's one of those guys who could step up, playing that position of leadership. Shortstop, very intelligent guy, knows the game well. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Check out the deployment by the Brewers defensively. Double plays in order here, but they're not playing in a typical double play position. Ricky Weeks taking the hole away from Jed Lowry. Normally, if you're playing for 2, he'd be pinching towards the bag a little bit. But they do not want to give him that hole on the right side.
Now, Brad Mills was asked by the media about Jed Lowry tailing off. Batting average has been falling. 54 pitches so far for Hernandez, 31 strikes. And he said he didn't really have one answer for it, but part of the reason that we've noticed, JD, is they're defensing him a little bit differently now, playing him to pull. as a left-handed batter, as we see Milwaukee doing here. That might have taken a few hits away from Jed, as other teams have adapted to his hitting style. It's 2-2. And Brad said, well, you'd have to check, but it seems like we've faced a lot of left-handed pitchers recently. And just checking Jed's average, he's 185 against left-handed pitching this year. Levon misses. It's ball 3 and it's a full count.
I think the toughest thing for any hitter when they're scuffling is to maintain that good patience, because you want to swing your way out of a slump. But that's the challenge. You got to make sure you get a good pitch to hit.
They're going. There's a liner headed for the right field corner. Aoki comes over. It stays in play, and that's going to mean Martinez scoring as the throw goes into Hart. RBI double for Lowry. That's his 36th run batted in, and the Astros lead grows to 3-0. He pulled that one where nobody could make a play on him. 16 doubles for Lowry now.
Now ball up in the strike zone, and it just rips it into that right field corner. I'm not sure if that was a fastball or a hanging changeup. Julio Daniel coming around to score.
Yeah. That's 7 hits for Houston. Lowry's 16th double puts him on with nobody out. 3 straight hits, and it's Chris Johnson who walked earlier with the ball to right field. Aoki coming as Lowry tags for the catch and the throw toward third. Lowry still churning. The throw is not quite in time. 1 out.
A good base running and a very good throw from Aoki. He's got a nice arm. Quick release, strong and accurate.
Almost went right over him as he was sliding. Now the infielders come in. It's Castro batting. He lined out to center in the first with the bases loaded. And now gets this runner at third, 1 out opportunity. Bogasevic's on deck. Strike 1 call. Detroit leads Kansas City 5-2. They've played 3 at the Motor City. Prince Fielder hit his 14th. Toronto and the White Sox scoreless after 3 with Gavin Floyd on the mound for the Sox. Hernandez missing there. Falls to a 1-1 count. Yankees are at Boston again tonight. Phil Hughes against Felix Doubront. So rain delay in Pittsburgh, where the Pirates have taken a 1-0 lead in the home third on the Giants. Against former Pirate Ryan Vogelsong for San Francisco today. High to right field. Chasing Aoki back. And he comes in for the catch, makes a quick throw, but the run's going to score easily to make it 4-0 Houston. Sacrifice fly. Castro, his 19th run batted in. Good job of getting that ball up and deep. Lowry coming home with the 4th run. And now Bogasevic, he lined a single to right field in the second. This one goes to Ricky Weeks. Over to Corey Hart. And it's 3 runs in the Houston third on 3 hits. The Astros take a lead of 4-0 after 3. 3 Hall of Famers played 1,000 games at 2 different positions. Name them.
Robin Yount.
Yeah. Ramos Ramirez takes strike 1, leading off the 4th inning. He singled in the 1st inning to center field. Let's see, 1,000 games.
Pete Rose?
Yeah, I was going to guess Pete. He played 5 different positions, but I don't know if he played 1,000 at more than 1.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's a possibility.
Whoa!
1 ball, 2 strikes. Wandy sailed one over everybody.
Come on, Uke.
Just a bit high, Bob Uecker would say. And he's right down broadcast row from us.
Not Bob Uecker, that's Harry Doyle. Rocking the shades. Whoa. What's going on here?
Did it again, and it's 2-2.
Talk about changing the eye level.
Now here's a fly ball to center field with Schaefer going back. 1 down for Wandy in the 4th inning.
How many games did Stargell play in the outfield?
Well, that's another good guess. Don't know if he played 1,000.
It's a lot of games. It's what,
7
years worth of games?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Boy. Hall of Famer, 1,000 games at more than 1 position. We were asking, by the way, about Yount. We had that question last night about All-Stars, and he was a 3-time All-Star, and we thought that was an unusually low figure, but checked with Bill Schroeder next door in the Milwaukee booth, and he reminded us that Alan Trammell was a perennial All-Star in addition to Cal Ripken, so that's what made it difficult when Yount was at shortstop, and then he moved to center field after that. 1 ball, 1 strike. They might have stumped us on this one, JD. Bouncer third. Backing up on it more. Now he makes the longer throw and over to Chris Johnson.
Ernie Banks?
Yeah. Ernie Banks. All right. AT&T will give us those 3 names. Ernie Banks, Rod Carew, and Robin Yount. Carew at first and second. Many people think of Ernie Banks as a shortstop, but I believe he actually played more games at first base.
And Pete Rose, we mentioned Rose, obviously he doesn't qualify because he's not in the Hall.
Good point. He's not a Hall of Famer. Weeks hit a fly ball to center earlier.
Read the whole question. I see. That's what I was always skipping ahead.
Strike to Weeks. Banks was an MVP twice as a shortstop. But then he moved to first. It's 1-1. 4-0 Astros. Wandy Rodriguez shooting for win number 7 of the year and number 80 of his career. He throws a strike, and it's 1-2. When a team has lost 9 in a row, as the Astros have, well, that first inning can sometimes be a mountain. Wandy got the first 2, then he had a walk and a single, but he got hard on a 2-0 count.
Yeah, it's so important to post that first 0 on a struggling club just so your hitters don't feel like they're behind the 8 ball right away. Try to take a little of the pressure off.
Two balls, 2 strikes. It's been a while since the Astros have knocked a pitcher out in the first inning. A few years. Weeks takes 3 balls, 2 strikes. As we see Jose Veras warming up. Sergio Mitre in April of 07 was injured in the first inning pitching for the Marlins against the Astros. Paul Wilson failed to retire any of the first 8 batters when the Reds played the Astros in July of 03. Wandy goes up. and turns it into a 1-2-3-4 and a 4-0 Houston lead.
Combo for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. And by Mattress Firm. Save money and sleep happy. I've got a question that maybe one of you guys will have the answer to. Talking about these early ejections, do you remember the quickest ejection in an Astros home game prior to today? Is there anything that stands out?
Astros home game. Have to think about that for a while.
All right, well, if you come up with something, Pratty Worth would like to know the answer.
Okay, Jose Barris is warming up. He'll be pitcher number 3. And he's 3-3 with a 4.89 ERA for Milwaukee.
Last year, Veras was a Pirate. This is his first season with Milwaukee. Got good strikeout numbers, but he's walked too many. 24 walks in 35 innings. Not good. That's a walk rate of better than 6 per 9 innings pitched. Throws hard. 94-mile-an-hour heater. Good curveball. Split finger pitch. No, the only one I can think of was on the road was Ellerton in Kansas City, and that was right before the All-Star break that year, I believe.
Yep. A very warm day in July, if memory serves. Wandy Rodriguez, the batter. There is strike one. Was it Ron Vallone who came in relief, right, that day?
The big rig.
Yeah, he pitched for a while. I think it was 5 or 6 innings in relief. He really sucked it up. On a very, very hot day in Kansas City after Ellerton got tossed for hitting the first guy.
Wandy with that ill-fated bunt attempt last time up. Now he turns around and he bats left-handed here.
Okay.
Stood in there right-handed against a soft-tossing Levon Hernandez, but with the hard thrower, he goes back to the left side.
Curveball struck him out.
Now we'll just go back to the dugout. It's okay. Just keep pitching a shutout and you're good.
Greg?
All right, we've been doing this every Thursday, but we need to remind you that the Guys Night Out package presented by Kielbasa and Budweiser is available every Thursday home game, including July 26th versus the Pirates. All you got to do is purchase a loaded ticket, and it includes a Field Box 2 seat, Astros cap, sausage, dog, and valued draft beer or soda for only $30. So root now and buy tickets at astros.com/guysnight. And remember, that's every Thursday home game, guys.
Jordan Schaefer, the batter. Showing bunt. He takes a heater for strike one. He has a triple and a ground out back to the pitcher on a bunt attempt. Thursday, guys, nights out. You know, against the Pirates, you were telling us, on July 26th. That's the only one in the entire month of July. A couple coming up in August. One on August 9th against Washington, the other on August 30th against San Francisco here. No balls, 2 strikes to Schaefer with Altuve coming up next.
So round up the guys and come to the ballpark.
Yeah.
Get your bowling team together. Your golf foursome.
Have you ever been on a bowling team?
Well, in college, some of the boys in the dorm had an intramural bowling team that I joined along every now and then.
I think the best bowler bowled last, right? You know, in the order.
On our club, it didn't matter much.
Okay.
I think it was the cheap beer, really, that
just a social outing for you.
Got everybody going.
I think they call him the anchor man, the last guy.
The anchor man.
Fifth guy to bowl. Inside almost hit him. So you had no Johnny Petraglia?
No, not really. No Larry Lobbs.
No.
Yeah, but I was a junior bowler, you know, as a kid. Did you do that? Did you do some of that junior bowling?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
What was your high
Saturday
score?
mornings. I want to say like 225.
Oh, you were good.
I peaked athletically in about 8th or 9th grade.
Did you
the best
have
fastball I had when I was in 9th grade?
You have the big hook or
downhill from there? No, fairly straight ball.
Okay.
See, and the same thing with pitching. I couldn't curve the ball. I couldn't make the ball move. Everything I threw was straight.
You lefties are supposed to.
I know.
There's a shot into right center field. Gomez comes over. And he holds Schaefer to a single. Schaefer's 2 for 3 in this game.
It's on top of this ball. Hits it on a line out there to Gomez.
Altuve's up for the 3rd time.
Opportunity for Schaefer to steal a bag here.
He might test that right hamstring, which seemed to be barking at him on the first inning triple. Schaefer has 19 steals. He's been caught 6 times. 8 hits for the Astros, 2 for the Brewers, and the throw goes to first. And the Astros lost last night, and the Chicago Cubs won their game. And San Diego won. The Astros fell into the National League cellar with the worst record in the league, trying to climb out of that today. Runner going. Here's Maldonado with a one-hop throw, and he's safe. Schaefer with steal number 20. That's a milestone.
See him leaning out on that front foot. Maldonado came out from behind home plate fairly quickly. Throws on the shortstop side and a little short. Barrett's the big right-hander, not particularly quick to home.
Pitch was ball 1 to Altuve, who now has a man in scoring position with a 4-0 lead. And breaking pitch is in for a strike. Phil Boudreau has done some research on that Scott Ellerton game in Kansas City, July 8th of 01. Craig Biggio was hit leading off the game by Durbin of the Kansas City Royals. Then Jeff Nelson tossed Ellerton when he hit Ray Sanchez leading off the bottom of the first. So that was a quick one. So nothing like this today because there was no hit batter or retaliation type thing involved. Just spiking the baseball.
Yeah.
2 balls and strike. You know, the last time we looked at that play, it almost looked as if the umpire was not throwing him out for spiking the baseball because he waited a beat or two. And Sam Holbrook might have tossed him for something he said. Couldn't really tell, but as you said, he was mad at himself.
We'll take another look. You know, in defense of Holbrook, and this is a very weak defense. It's something you never see. You know, somebody just caught him off guard. Somebody spiking the ball out there on the field. You see hitters throw their bats all the time in frustration or fire their helmet. And if the umpire feels like that anger is directed at him, he'll point upstairs, and there'll be an automatic fine for throwing the equipment. You never see it out on the bases.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's a very thin defense. I still think he was wrong in ejecting him.
Altuve coaches the walk, number 2 of the game for Milwaukee pitching. Just as we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Scott Moore has this home run swing going, and just a nice uppercut, making solid contact. He has hit 3 long balls in 8 games.
Yeah, word will get out. Going to make some adjustments to Scott Moore, the way he's been swinging the bat. We'll see how he does. He's got a pretty swing, though. Stays in the zone, nice long time.
Now he comes around for the 3rd time with men on first and second and 1 out. Pickoff play at second. Schaefer back in. Moore playing third base. He had been in right field last night and also played right field Thursday night in Pittsburgh. He can play first base as well and some second. Versatile sort. Another pickoff at second. Scott, a first-round draft choice of Detroit in 2002. Then he became a Cub in a trade for Kyle Farnsworth in 2005. He was traded to Baltimore in 2007 for Steve Traxel. Now, last year, he was at AAA Iowa all year in the Cubs system, hitting .295 with 9 homers, 53 runs batted in. Had good numbers, but with a home run bat is what he's putting on display here that his recent numbers would not necessarily have predicted. Had 7 long balls and 184 major league at bats coming into this trial with the Astros. One and one for Veras. Veras was traded for Casey McGee over the winter.
Good off-speed pitch here from Veras, likely a split finger pitch.
Veras pitched on Thursday against Miami, an inning and a third, giving up 2 earned runs. Gave up a pinch hit 2-run homer to Greg Dobbs, a left-handed hitter in that game. Rolled foul, first base side. It's 1-2. Astros handed Veras a loss in Milwaukee on the 25th of April. And in 2 appearances there, gave up 4 earned runs in 2 innings against the Astros. Randy Wolf is warming up in the bullpen for Milwaukee. He's not due to start again before the All-Star break. So in order to save the bullpen for tomorrow, Wolf may be coming in for a few innings today.
As you mentioned, it's Johnny Allstaff, all hands on deck this final weekend before the All-Star break, and would not be surprised to see Zach Greinke on the mound tomorrow.
High to right field. Aoki checking the barrier, but he has room in front of that wall. Now he's coming in for the catch. Here's the tag at second. Schaefer moving to third. And that's a long second out. But Moore is giving these fans a thrill when that ball leaves his bat.
And just a little bit more, and he's got his second home run of the game. Just out in front of this one a little bit. Aoki fundamentally sound out there in the outfield.
Yeah.
Getting behind that, and seen him make 2 throws now where, you know, a lot of guys just kind of throw the ball back in. They know they have no shot, but he's doing everything right.
He really is. He's getting his whole body behind the ball, taking a few steps into the catch. J.D. Martinez has runners at first and third now, and 2 outs. J.D.'s 2 for 2. Altuve's going. Here's the throw, and it's high and on into center field. That'll allow Schaefer a chance to score to make it 5-0. Altuve gets his 15th steal, and the throw sailed on over second base into center field for an error on Maldonado, allowing Schaefer to score on the throwing error.
What a gift. A little bit surprised that they even threw with Baird's on the mound and Altuve running, he's been a very effective base stealer this year. A lot of times you won't even bother throwing for fear something like this happens. And if you got a pitcher who's quick to home, you got a guy who's not all that speedy, by all means, take a shot.
Up the middle of the second, Sacker Weeks. Martinez is retired, but the Astros steal a run there. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. After 4, they lead it 5-0.
What do you drive? Looking ahead to tomorrow's 105 series finale, Jordan Lyles will go to the hill for the Astros, looking to rebound from a very tough start in Pittsburgh last Monday when he picked up his 5th loss of the season. He allowed 7 runs on 9 hits in 4 innings in a game the Astros lost to the Pirates 11-2. He'll be opposed by right-hander Marco Estrada, who is 0-3 with a 4.31 ERA. We'll be on the air with Astros Live at 12:30, so join us then. At your Mazda game break, let's go back to the booth. Brownie and JD.
Thanks, Bart. It is 5-0 Houston. It may rain later on this afternoon. That's of no concern to anybody in here, but that was the forecast. There's ball 1 to Maldonado. See some dark clouds out there in the distance. Maldonado struck out looking in the second. This one heads for center field and back in right center. Schaefer has a long run still going and on the track. 1 out.
He's going to be gassed by the end of this game.
Sure is.
Maldonado giving this one a pretty good ride.
Schaefer tracked it down. He's had a triple and a single. He's stolen a base, scored 2 runs. He's a dirty guy.
Yeah, playing the whole game.
Now as Torres is the batter. Roger Morgan on deck. As Torres takes a look at it for ball 1. Livan Hernandez in 3 innings allowed 5 hits, 3 runs. He had 1 walk, struck out 2 through 62 pitches.
Zach Greinke is the pitcher of record. He was charged with that run in the Astros first. Could be a 4-pitch loss for him.
Oh.
And now standing strike to ball ratio today of 3-1.
It's 1 and 2. Somebody missed a foul ball down there below us. Still a 1-ball 2-strike count on his Torres. There are the culprits. Wandy's at 63 pitches, 41 have been strikes. This one's tapped foul for a 1 and 2 count. The Astros are 3 and 3 against the Brewers this season. And over the years at Minute Maid Park, they won 59 and lost 37 against Milwaukee. these Saturday 3:05 starts, very popular. Families come out. They can meld the ball game into the dinner hour. Have a great time. 2-2.
Just have one of those frozen lemonades for dinner.
Oh, yeah.
That works. Very nutritious.
Little looping single out into shallow center field. Plops down off the bat of his Torres. That's hit number 3 for the Brew Crew.
Yes, Martin Maldonado. There is no justice. Your ball was an out, and this is a base hit.
Now it's Niger Morgan pinch hitting for Jose Veras. Veras in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, 1 run. He walked 1 and did not. Yes, he had 1 strikeout. Morgan came up last night in a pinch hitting role. Niger takes it and it's ball 1. He didn't hit last night. He was a left fielder late in the game. Didn't have an at bat. 234 and 192 at bats. Very slow start for Niger. 2 homers, 5 runs batted in, 4 for 14 pinch hitting. It's 2-0 to Niger Morgan. He was a real catalyst for the Brewers last year. He made a lot of things happen and had fun. Those post-game interviews.
He's got a big personality and an alter ego by the name of Tony Plush. T-Plush. They remember that beast mode thing going last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know how you describe that move they did, but that may be the key. The Astros might need to do that. They need some kind of a special signal.
Yeah.
The Rangers had the antlers a couple of years ago. Now the Pirates have this Z thing going on.
Yeah.
Astros have to come up with some kind of a salute.
Well, Miguel Tejada had that spotlight.
Yeah. He took it with him, though.
Yeah, he did. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Niger Morgan just turned 32 5 days ago. He was drafted by Pittsburgh, traded to Washington. Milwaukee got him in a deal for Cutter Dykstra, one of Dykstra's son. 3-2.
Lenny's in the big house, isn't he?
I believe he is, yes.
Niger's calling himself T Hush this year.
Is he?
Yeah, because he's
not
not making any noise with his bat.
Oh, that's got a good sense of humor then. This is a gapper potentially unless Schaefer can get there. Schaefer does run it down. He might have to be lifted in the 5th inning of this when he's done so much running. 2 outs.
I'll make the play going the other way. This time into the left center alley, and then quickly turns and gets that ball back in.
Now it's Carlos Gomez. Gomez has struck out both times. And both times he's been thrown out by the catcher on these strikeouts. He's going for pitches in the dirt. He takes strike 1 there.
You see the way he loads up. Every swing he takes, he's trying to hit it 7 miles. And he's strong. He's got a lot of power. He's capable.
It's 1-1. Well, he has a lot of speed.
A lot of energy. You get the sense every time he takes a pitch that it's a colossal effort not to swing. Like he just wants to let it fly every time.
Near the right field line, and that will loop just foul. Brian Bogusevic, 1-2. Gomez slowed down a little bit by a strained left hamstring this year. Last year he was 16 for 18 in steals, 76 pitches for Wandy Rodriguez, and his legs are a big part of his game. He had 30 bunt hits back in 08 with the Twins to lead the majors. He was playing every day then. But his home run high in a season, 8 last year, and 231 at bats for Milwaukee. So probably the bunting is a better idea.
Well, I think he's the kind of guy that if he played every day, he could hit 20, 25 home runs. But he just swings and misses so much. It's hard for him to claim an everyday job.
Well, he struck out 37 times this season. He's had 160 at bats. Last year he had 64 strikeouts and 231. 2 balls, 2 strikes. '78 pitches for Wandy, 50 of which have been strikes.
See that? The guy that's punched out twice on breaking ball, that's a big swing on a 2-2 curveball. You just get the sense that Wandy can throw it back in the dirt again. He's likely to swing and miss again.
And this Saturday crowd hoping Wandy can put Gomez away. And he gets a flare foul.
Nice play. Fans are fired up about that play. There he is.
And he struck him out for the 3rd time in the game. Strikeout number 4 for Wandy. In the middle of the 5th, the Astros lead Milwaukee 5-0.
Eat 'em up, Cougs, and join the Astros for University of Houston night at Minute Maid Park Wednesday, July 25th. The Astros will host the Reds. U of H fans can buy a ticket package on astros.com/Cougs, and the first 1,000 to redeem their cap voucher will score a one-of-a-kind UH Astros cap. The University of Houston head football coach Tony Levine will also toss out the ceremonial first pitch. Buy tickets at astros.com/Cougs. Eat 'em up that night, guys.
Yeah, Randy Wolf is in now. He's 2-6 with a 5.83 ERA. He'll be pitcher number 4 for the Brewers, whose starter Zach Greinke was thrown out after 2 batters.
Randy, pretty reliable starting pitcher since he's come into the National League, and he's been around a good long while now. Broke in with the Phillies in 1999. He's had to deal with some injury problems. Double digits in wins in each of the last 4 seasons. He's going to have to get on a pretty good roll in the second half to get there this year with that 6 record through 17 starts.
Ball 1 to Lowry. Now it's a 1-1 count to Jed. Jed 1 for 2, an RBI double to right to the corner in the 3rd inning, and then he later scored on a sac fly by Castro. Wolf 6-3 lifetime at Minute Maid Park with a 3.45 ERA. Grounder up the middle, and there's his Torres, but he can't make the pickup. Lowry's aboard. Should be his 2nd hit of the day. And it is a hit.
Torres certainly capable of making this play, but it would be a tough error right there.
But Lowry has just picked up hit number 9 for the Astros. He's aboard for Chris Johnson. CJ has a walk and a fly ball to right. He looks at strike 1 from Wolf. Randy pitched the first regular season game at Minute Maid Park as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. Near the right field line, that looper will fall in for Johnson. Aoki trying to track it down. Here's Lowry getting a stop sign on a double by Johnson. 15th double for Chris. 10 hits for the Astros.
Sometimes it's just your day to win. Things break your way. A little soft pop up down the right field line, but it stays fair. Astros looking to play add-on off Randy Wolf. Wolf is a guy who'll fastball. He'll try to sink it. He'll cut it. Flip that big slow curveball up there. He also has a slider and a changeup.
Infield comes in now. Jason Castro's the batter. He's lined to center and he's flied to right. A sac fly. You take another one of those right here. There's strike 1. You prefer something that drives in both runners in scoring position, of course. Bogusevic's on deck. Now it was Wolf against Octavio Dotel here in 2000 when this ballpark opened. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And both still active. Good long careers.
Isn't that something? That's pretty amazing. 12 years later. Wolf and the Phillies won the game 4-1. Randy gave up only a Hidalgo home run in 7 innings. Richard had a big home run year that year. 2 balls and a strike. Randy will turn 36 in August. Canoga Park, California. Went to Pepperdine. First came up with the Phillies in '99. He was 13-10 last year for the Brewers with a 3.69 earned run average. He's had 2 starts this year against the Astros. He beat Bud Norris in Milwaukee 9-4 in April and lost to Bud Norris here in May. Wolf gets a strike call there from Joe West, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Line shot left field. Braun coming over, makes the catch. Here's Lowry tagging and coming to the plate. Braun's throw offline. Sacrifice fly, 6-0. 2 sacrifice flies for Castro in this game. Gives him 20 runs batted in now.
The Astros with a number of productive outs here this afternoon. A couple of fly balls where runners have been able to advance from 2nd to 3rd and then come around to score.
Six 6-0 lead for the Astros. Bogusevic the batter. He's 1 for 2. And that first game at Minute Maid Park, it was 0-0 until the 7th inning with Wolf and Dotel dueling. Bogusevic looks at ball one.
There were not many of those games in this ballpark that first year.
No, there were not. That was just a ridiculous year for runs scored in this ballpark. Astros set the home run record in the National League that year. And they were just bashing the ball out of this place to the extent that people were really worried that it was going to be so high scoring that they could not attract decent free agent pitchers here. They thought it might become another Coors Field. 1-2. I think Jeff Bagwell hit 47 homers that year, and Richard Hidalgo chimed in with 44. Bogusevic's down on strikes. 2 outs.
There's that big slow curveball from Randy Wolf. Breaking across the strike zone, down around the bottom of the knees. Wandy's right-handed again.
If you ever figure it out, let me know. He's 0 for 2 in this game as far as his decision on which way to bat. And there's strike one. Castro has tied a club record for 2 sac flies in a 9-inning game. This is the Mike Scott bobblehead giveaway today. One of 6 greatest moments bobbleheads being given away this year at Minute Maid Park. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, what a run that was for you guys in '86. With a 2-hitter, a 1-hitter, and a no-hitter.
Scotty won 18 games that year, was the Cy Young Award winner in the National League.
Ground ball. Wolf can't play it. It trickles out around second. Barehanded is Torres. It's Wandy with an excellent play. And the Astros get a run on 2 hits. They leave a man after 5. They're up 6-0.
Biggest event of the summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with a 2012 MLB All-Star Game Tuesday, 6:30 Central on Fox. By the way, news today is a former Astro has been added to the National League team. Michael Bourne replaces Ian Desmond of Washington, who is pulling out because he's a little bit shaky. Even though he's playing today, they don't want him to have to come off the bench. They think that might be an injury problem. So one less infielder. That means more chances for Jose to get some extensive time.
There's that bobblehead, JD.
Yeah, there's Scotty, circa 1986. Came here to trade from the Mets for Danny Uriah Heap. 2.22 that ERA that year. 300 strikeouts. There's a no-hitter to clinch September 25th. Also, it was 97, the 25th of September, where the Astros clinched. Very important date in Astros history.
Scotty will be coming back here later this month.
Throw out that first pitch. He'll probably throw a split-finger fastball.
Oh. We're going to have to get a special catcher for that pitch. Now Scott Moore comes over talking with Wandy, trying to buy him a little extra time. He had to run up the first base line in that final out of the 5th inning. But he's okay to pitch to Aoki. 6-0 lead for Wandy. Aoki is 1 for 2. Infield hit that stayed right on the first base line. There's ball 1 to him. The Brewers have been held to 3 singles by Wandy. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He fouls it away, and it's 1-2 with Braun and Ramirez to follow here in the Brewers' 6th inning. Brewers have won 5 of their last 7, but they're 5 games under 500 right now. Struck him out. Number 5.
Got him in swing mode, threw him a fastball about shoulder high, and Aoki willing to go fishing. A bad hack right there. He's been swinging a hot bat, though. 14 game hitting streak, something like that.
13 is correct. Well, it's 14 now with his infield hit. You're right. Ryan Braun is 0 for 1 with a walk. He lined a short earlier. There's strike 1 to Braun. Just checking Milwaukee's schedule, JD. Right after the All-Star break, they're at home. They play Pittsburgh for 3 and St. Louis for 3 in that homestand. Very important. There you see where Braun ranks in team history on the home run list. Former Astro skipper Cecil Cooper is 5th at 201. So he should be able to reach that all-time lead if he plays productively throughout the length of his contract, which is a very lengthy one.
It's a long deal. Yeah, I was watching on one of the sports channels, maybe the baseball channel, the other day on the road trip. They were showing the '82 World Series between the Brewers and the Cardinals. And I got to thinking, has there ever been a World Series where there's been 2 better defensive first basemen? It's Cecil Cooper and Keith Hernandez.
Oh, maybe not. They were both outstanding. Well, the Brewers start out with Pittsburgh after the All-Star break. Then they play St. Louis. Then on the road, they're at Cincinnati and Philly. So that should tell the tale of whether they're going to be contenders or not, to a certain extent anyway. Because if they're not, they may start dumping. 3 balls and a strike. There are rumors that the New York Mets are looking for bullpen help, including maybe Francisco Rodriguez, their former closer, who's a setup man for the Brewers right now. Ground ball sharply hit. It gets by Moore. And Braun reaches. Moore got leather on it, but it trickled between his legs and then behind him.
And Braun hit the ball hard last time, lining out to shortstop. This time he barrels it up pretty good. What do they call that?
Error.
E5.
First error for Moore. And Ramos Ramirez will follow. He's 1 for 2.
This Brewer club can strike in a hurry. They have a lot of thunder in the lineup.
Line shot left field. J.D. Martinez over. It's a hit. And it's runners at first and second, 1 out with Corey Hart batting. He had number 4 for Milwaukee.
Braun hit his hard. Line drive single here from Ramirez. That may be getting somebody's attention in the Astros dugout.
Brad Mills will stay with the 5-man rotation, he said after the All-Star break. Brewers have used 8 different first basemen, including Corey Hart, but he's cementing his position there. The way it's gone, he's 0 for 2. This one gets away from Castro, and the runners move up to second and third.
Jason continues to have some problems back there receiving the ball.
Rule to pass ball. Fifth pass ball for Castro this year. That puts 2 in scoring position with 1 out, and the Astros will concede the run by playing back. Hart takes a look at ball 2. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Castro going out to talk with Wandy, who's thrown 92 pitches, 59 of them strikes. 93 right now. He's given up 4 hits. They've all been singles. Taking it's ball 3 to Hart. 3 balls, no strikes. Michael Bourne replacing Desmond, as Greg told us, as a National League All-Star. Michael's very deserving this year. Hart walks, and now the bases are loaded with 1 out for Weeks. And if he rams 1 out of here, it's a 6-4 game.
Since 2009, you look at the National League ERA leaders among left-handed pitchers. Kershaw leading the way, then Cole Hamels, and an underappreciated Wandy Rodriguez right there with Hamels.
Doug Brocail is headed to the mound. Fernando Rodriguez will be getting loose. This will buy a little time for him, and also gives Doug a chance to gauge what Wandy says about how he's feeling after 95 pitches. Doug always tries to maintain a positive message when he goes out for these very quick mound visits. He looked pretty emphatic with that one, and it's bases loaded, 1 out with Weeks batting, so this complexion could be changing here if Weeks can come through. Weeks has fly to center, and he's grounded back to the pitcher. And strike 1 to Weeks. Now Brad Mills was talking in his media session about the changing lineup this team has had from a year ago. Well, there have been a whole lot of changes on this club, remembering that Altuve and Martinez did not come up from the minors until July last year. Clint Barmas was the shortstop. Chris Johnson was the third baseman, but the question Brad Mills posed was how many guys were on this club all last year, and Chris was not. He had a brief time in the minor leagues, who are here now. Pretty big turnover now that Carlos Lee is gone. Ryan Bogusevic wasn't with the club all last year.
I think the answer is none, right? Among the position players?
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think there's one position player currently on this roster that was here all of last year.
2 balls and a strike. Matt Downs is the only one we could come up with among the position players who was here all last year. Bouncer, and Moore will step on third. He got the ball, and he didn't get an out, and the run scored. He was in a hurry to turn 2 and didn't get any. And it's 6-1.
Wow. We're back into full moon mode. I think the idea was right. As opposed to trying to go home, I think he had time to get 2, step on the bag, and make a good strong throw across the diamond.
So that would have been the end of the inning had he gotten the double play, with the score 6-0. But now it is 6-1, bases loaded, 1 out, and the batter will be Maldonado. And Wandy, who's thrown 99 pitches, will be coming out.
See how the Brewers counter, probably bringing a lefty in to hit.
6-1 Houston. Back in a moment. What could have been an inning-ending double play ball, and it would have been 6-0 had that happened. Now it's reality, and Fernando Rodriguez takes over with the score 6-1. The base is loaded, and he will be facing either Maldonado or a pinch hitter. We'll see what happens.
Maldonado is going to be the man. I thought maybe they'd make a change, go with Kataros. Maldonado will get this at bat. He hit the ball very hard last time up. Deep fly out to right center field. Efrod's been very good at stranding base runners this year.
Now, Brad Mills refers to that when he's asked about Fernando Rodriguez. And that's what he's hoping will continue this trend. He's stranded 19 of 22 inherited runners. Maldonado is 0 for 2. Strikeout looking, and then that drive that JD talked about to right center. One out, bases loaded. And a breaking pitch in the dirt, ball one. Fernando pitched Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Pittsburgh after having the Chicago series off. Gave up 2 runs in that first game Monday at Pittsburgh on a 2-run double by Neil Walker. And 2 of his inherited runners did score on Tuesday on a 2-run pinch single by Alvarez, the third baseman. This fly ball heads for center fielder Schaefer, who moves in for it. Ed Cedar getting an angle for the call. He'll hold the runner at third. Just wasn't deep enough. 2 outs. So Ramos Ramirez stays put on out number 2. And Cedar came up the line to get that perspective. He wanted to watch exactly where Schaefer was. And his best judgment told him that might very well be a double play if he sent Ramirez.
And they need a big inning. They're down 5 runs. So they're not going to gamble there.
Now it's his Torres batting. He singled up the middle in the 5th inning after lining to first in the 2nd. That's strike one for Fernando Rodriguez, who came in with the bases loaded in Los Angeles on May 25th and a 3-1 lead. He got 2 big outs in that game. Swing and a miss, but the runners will have a chance to move up as it gets by Castro, and Ramirez scores to make it 6-2. The Astros have made 2 errors. They've had a pass ball, now a wild pitch in this inning. Coming unraveled defensively.
And again, Jason's inability to block that one. It's a wild pitch. It's in the dirt, but that's one you should be able to knock down. Squirt through the 5-hole on him.
2 runs home in the inning on only 1 hit. As Torres has the 0-2 count and fouls it back.
It's just the kind of game where you're watching and thinking that the All-Star break can't come fast enough.
Yeah.
It's been sloppy.
It has been very sloppy. An extremely strange game. Zach Greinke tossed after facing 2 batters. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Turris a switch hitter. He's been far better from this side of the plate. 207 overall, but 253 as a left-handed batter. .111 right-handed.
Travis Ishikawa is on deck. Pitcher spot due up next.
Really shorten up for him in the outfield.
Way up.
Have a punch and Judy hitter and with 2 runners in scoring position. The last thing you want to do is let him dunk another one in front of you like you did last time up and drive in 2 what could prove to be very important runs.
Well, they could be. Difference between 6-2 and 6-4 is immense, especially to a club with a 9-game losing streak.
That's whether the manager's either reaching for a cup of water or antacids, depending on what happens in this at bat.
Full count now. And a big pitch for Fernando Rodriguez with Ishikawa waiting to pinch hit for Wolf.
Ron Renicky and Zach Greinke ejected in the first inning. They're probably into their second movie now.
It might be. Foul back. Fernando can rely on that riding fastball. He could break off a curve. His Torres had right elbow problems last year with the ulnar nerve, and he was limited to just 30 major league at bats with Baltimore. .255 career hitter coming into this season. It's the high rider, and it's foul back. Still 3-2.
Turris not able to lay off that high fastball. Probably would have walked had he been able to lay off either of those last 2 pitches. And I'm really surprised to see him do a whole lot with that pitch up there. He's going to hit a lazy fly ball in all likelihood if he continues to swing at it.
In the air, and Scott Moore is pursuing it over into foul territory, going over by the stands and putting that one away to end a troublesome 6th inning in which the Brewers get 2 runs on only 1 hit with a couple of errors, a pass ball, and 2 men left. 6-2 Houston.
Kids on Fox Sports Houston. Emily Reppert is the host. Kids are the story. They bait hooks, they catch fastballs, they explore the great outdoors. It's the experience, not whether you win or lose. You can also get more information about Chevy Hometown Kids by going hometownkids.tv. Learn all about it and catch the show Saturdays at 10 a.m.
So if you did that this morning, that was the lead into this afternoon's game. 6-2 Astros, bottom of the 6th inning. Schaefer against Wolf. And Jordan fouls it for strike one. He's been a catalyst today. He's been on with a triple and a single. He's stolen a base, scored 2 runs, made good plays in the outfield. Gotten his uniform very dirty. Ramirez is on the grass at third. That one's roped out to right field. Aoki over.
Battling the lights.
Yeah.
Put it away. Another good swing by Schaefer. Having a very nice day here at work.
He sure is. Altuve next. He is the youngest National League All-Star this year. Mike Trout, the youngest American League All-Star. Altuve is 22. Trout is 20. Altuve with an RBI single, 1 for 2. A walk and a steal today. Bouncer up the middle as Torres lays out for it, gets up, fires to first, safe. Hart went diving for it to prevent an error and a ball going out of play because as Torres had to rush that throw, and Altuve gets his second hit of the day.
It's been the norm for Altuve against the Brewers. He put on a show over there earlier.
As Torres put forth the effort, but Altuve got the hit. And now it's Scott Moore. Moore ripped a homer in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 3. The pitching line on Wandy Rodriguez was 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Throw goes over. Altuve stole that base in the 4th inning after Schaefer also stole a base. The Astros for the season are 9 for 9 against Milwaukee in base stealing. That's ball 1. It's Washington 4, Colorado 1. They're in the bottom of the 7th in Washington. Ian Desmond hit his 16th home run of the year for the Nationals. They're 15 games above 500, holding down the top spot in the NL East. Bouncer to second. Weeks shoveling is Torres the middleman for 6-3 double play. That ends the 6th inning with the Astros up by 4, 6-2.
Efficiency Drive sales event. and by AT&T. Rethink possible. The action moves on. The Astros lead is 4. Fans enjoying this 3:05 start. Top of the 7th. Here's Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thank you, Greg. It is 6-2 Astros. They've out hit the Brewers, as you see, 11-4, and that has meant a lot of moves for Jerry Narron, the bench coach who's taken over after Ron Renicky, the manager, was ejected in the first inning. That followed the ejection of starting pitcher Zach Greinke, faced 2 batters and trailed 1-0 when he left. So Jerry Narron is calling on a pinch hitter now, and he's already been announced, left-handed hitting Taylor Green. And with that announcement, Brad Mills is coming out. He wants a different matchup than Fernando Rodriguez. Fernando retired 2 as he faced Maldonado and his Turris and got those 2 big outs. Now he gives way to Wesley Wright. 6-2 Houston. Back in a moment. Seventh inning unfolding, and a pinch hitter lefty hitting Taylor Green had been announced. At that point, Brad Mills went to his bullpen to get lefty pitching Wesley Wright.
Wesley working for the 42nd time. He's had a busy first half of the year. He's 0-2 with a 3.91 ERA, a strikeout per inning pitched. In the league hits 253 against him.
Taylor Green looks at his first one. It's ball 1 from Wesley.
Brad Mills can make this move to the lefty, feeling fairly comfortable that the Brewers would keep Green in the ball game. They do have one right-handed bat available on the bench. That's Cody Ransom. But when you're down 4 runs, you don't want to burn 2 guys in 1 at bat.
2-0.
Especially with nobody on base, you know, a couple guys in scoring position. Sure.
Green's hit better against lefties. Now 3 balls, no strikes, and he has not had to swing the bat yet. Wesley Wright, coming off a difficult game in Pittsburgh Tuesday night, gave up a walk-off homer to switch hitting Drew Sutton in the bottom of the 9th inning and lost 8-7. In the 7 games prior to that, he pitched scoreless baseball. There's a leadoff walk. Walk number 3 for Astros pitching today. And it'll be Gomez.
That will not make the manager very happy. Brandon Lyon getting ready out there. Gomez in the left-handed hitting Aoki, but after that, the string of dangerous right-handed bats. So Lyon getting ready for Bron Ramirez Hart Weeks.
Gomez has struck out all 3 times. Scott Moore backing up a little bit now. He's even with the base at 3rd. That's strike 1 to Gomez. Wright's making his 42nd appearance. He's in the top 10 of the majors in appearances. And rattles around in the Milwaukee dugout. It's no balls, 2 strikes. There's Aoki. He's 42 appearances before the All-Star break, the most since he had 44 at the break as a rookie in the 08 season. Situational lefties find a lot of work. He gets a strikeout looking. That's the 4th strikeout in this game for Carlos Gomez. Golden sombrero game.
He may have one more shot at redemption, but I'm not sure he's going to want it the way his day at the plate has gone. They're fooled by breaking balls, and now they cross him up and come with an 0-2 fastball and just lock him up.
That's a tough day. Aoki is 1 for 3. He's extended his hitting streak to 14 games today with a little roller. He pops this one up. Chris Johnson over into foul territory. 2 down. So now Wright has regrouped after the leadoff walk. Braun is next. And here comes Brad Mills.
Looks like he's going to make a double switch.
Scott Moore made the last out. And he's coming over. As Matt Dominguez comes off the bench to replace Moore. And he'll go into the 9 spot. And the pitcher will go into Moore's number 3 spot in the lineup. In this double switch, Brandon Lyon has been getting loose. Wright got a couple of outs. It's 6-2 Houston. Back in a moment. Action up on the big board, and we're watching that being entertained. Meanwhile, Matt Dominguez has taken over at third base, and Brandon Lyon on the mound in this double switch. He's coming in to face Ryan Braun with a runner at first and 2 outs.
Brandon Lyon working for the 34th time in what has been a good bounce back season for him after injury. Pitched just 13 innings all of last year. He was 0-2, 3.13 the ERA. Outstanding 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Braun is 0 for 2. He reached on an error and scored in the 6th inning. He also drew a walk in the 1st. Lyon in his last outing Tuesday night got a blown save on a 2-run home run to Garrett Jones in the 8th inning. Came in with a 1-run lead. There's strike 1. Trying to bounce back from that after a few days rest. Tim Dillard is warming up for the Brewers. Fastball hit out into center field, and that's a hit in front of Schaefer. Braun with a single. Sending Green to second base and keeping it alive for Aramis Ramirez with 2 on, with a 4-run lead for Houston. Ramirez is 2 for 11 with a homer off Lyon. In this game, he's 2 for 3. Singled in the first and another hit in the 6th inning, and then scored after that one.
Good cut fastball away. That's probably Lyon's most effective pitch. You know, in a situation like this, you have a 4-run lead. You think just stay away from his power, but normally when you say that, you're thinking stay away. But Ramirez is really good outer third, so you've got to continue to do your work inside on him. You can't allow him just to look for the ball out away from him. He'll punish you.
Swing and a miss there by Ramirez. Takes the count to 0-2. This was the 47th straight start of 5 innings or more for Wandy Rodriguez, dating back to April 8th of last year. That's the 3rd longest active streak in the majors. Only CC Sabathia was 75 and Justin Verlander was 70 have longer streaks. In the dirt right there by the feet of Castro. It's 1-2. Washington with Gio Gonzalez starting today. Leads 4-1 at home over Colorado. They're now in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's Detroit 8, Kansas City 4, bottom of the 8th in Detroit. Moustakas hit his 15th for Kansas City. White Sox lead Toronto 2-0 after 8 in Chicago. Youkilis with number 7. Altuve fields the one hopper. Over to Johnson. And good relief work gets the Astros out of the 7th inning. No runs a hit. 2 men left. They lead at 6-2.
To 2. You can follow the Astros with the MLB.com @BAT12 app. Good for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. On that, you can get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Simply text @BAT 31826 or visit Astros.com for details. There's more than just eating the popcorn. It makes a pretty neat hat, Dad.
Well, if it should happen to rain on her way to the car, that may be helpful. Also serves as a wastebasket. Tim Dillard is 0-2. His ERA 4.42. He works to J.D. Martinez in the home 7th inning. J.D.'s 2 for 3. Looking at ball 1 from the side winding Dillard. Dillard turns 29 in another couple of weeks. Sarasota, Florida. Drafted in the 34th round in 02 by the Brewers. He falls behind 2-0 on JD. Randy Wolf in 2 innings allowed 3 hits, 1 run with no walks. He struck out 1. Wesley Wright worked 2/3 of an inning, allowing no hits, no runs with a walk and a strikeout. With a shot on through into center field by JD. Martinez with a 3-hit afternoon. He's aboard for Lowry. Jets 2 for 3 and has scored twice.
That's just doing a nice job with the bats today, and it's not an easy day to hit because it seems like every time you come up to hit, you're facing a different pitcher.
Dillard's pitcher number 5.
Yeah, with Greinke getting the early ejection, Levon went 3, then Veras, Wolf, now Dillard. Not just different pitchers, but different looks. Right, left, soft tosser, hard thrower in Veras, and now the sidewinder.
Weeks leaves his feet, gets the ball to second, throws it away into left field. JD Martinez keeps on running, and hits first and third, nobody out. Weeks made a good stop of it, but then his throw skidded by his Torres into left field.
Weeks has had some problems defensively this year, and this time it's the throw. He tries to hurry it.
That's the 11th error this year for Weeks. It's first and third for Chris Johnson with nobody out.
Dillard's dad was a major league infielder for a number of years.
Yeah, he played second base, didn't he?
Sure, I know he was an infielder.
Played some second and third. Strike 1 to CJ. Double to right in the 5th. He's 1 for 2 with a walk.
It's him from Itawamba Community College. Never heard of that one.
Don't know where that one is. It's in Mississippi, right? Somewhere.
Ooh.
No balls, 2 strikes. Lowry was not credited with a hit. Fielder's choice, allowing him to reach, and then the error, putting Martinez at third base. Foul back. No balls, 2 strikes.
Itawamba Community College is in northeast Mississippi, Brownie. You're absolutely correct.
And we have another All-Star. Minute Maid Park vendor Minor Ford has been selected to join the vendors and work the All-Star game. Struck him out.
Is he having a really good year?
It must be.
Sidearm frisbee. Minor Ford, eh?
Minor Ford.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
I didn't know they did that.
I never heard of it before. Nice reward, though. He's joining Aramark vendors from each club.
You know, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to replace Ian Desmond with Jed Lowry.
Not at all.
And, maybe he would have gotten the call had his numbers had not fallen off here recently.
That's a good point. Dillard gives up the baseball with the score 6-2 Astros. Back in a moment. Houston looking for more energy here in the bottom of the 7th inning with a 4-run lead. Trying to really blow it out over Milwaukee. Manny Parra will be pitcher number 6 for the Brewers.
Manny Parra, the only left-hander in the bullpen, aside from Rainy Wolf, who's a starter, was used in relief today. But Parra has been working out of the pen 34 times he's come in. He's 0-3, 4.58 the ERA. Former starting pitcher. He has battled control problems in his career. You know, there's an old adage in this sport. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon when referring to the long season.
Yes.
Today, that refers to this game.
Indeed it does. Throw goes over to first on Lowry with Castro the batter. Castro, he could set a club record here, JD, if he gets his 3rd sacrifice fly.
Ooh.
We have a developing theme.
Drama, reason to watch.
Yeah.
Focus on this AB right here. Stay inside the ball. His fly ball to center field to get the job done. Dave Clark and JD Martinez are aware of the historic import here and are willing to go no matter what. Pop up to short. We're tagging. We're trying to come home. We've got to get Jason into the record book here.
He checked his swing on that one, or did he? Yes, he did. 2-0. Well, you know, you don't always set out to have 3 sacrifice flies in a game, JD, but when the opportunity presents itself, you go for it.
It's more rare than the cycle.
True. That's what he's looking to do with a 4-run lead. Get that runner home from 3rd with 1 out. Taking a strike there. It's 2-1 for Manny Parra.
So that's a club record held by many?
Yes.
Or held by a couple?
I think many. At least we're going with many for now. Bogusevic's on deck. Parra faced only 1 batter Thursday against Miami.
A hard time giving this Miami thing. I keep wanting to call them the Florida Marlins, the Miami Marlins.
Definitely.
Giancarlo Stanton had to come out of the game today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got knee problems.
So does that scratch him from the All-Star game?
I don't know. He's playing first base today.
So where's Carlos playing?
Well, probably center field.
Okay. Swing and a miss, and that's out number 2. Well, Parra got ahead in the count, or got behind 2-0, and then came back to fan him for the 2nd out. Here it is.
Hard breaking ball.
Parra's come back from missing last year with elbow issues.
Maybe I read that wrong. He wasn't playing first base, but he was pulled from the lineup after 2 innings.
Okay. Bogusevic has 1 for 3. One of the 12 Houston hits in the game.
I'll tell you one thing, if I'm the Marlins and Stanton participates in that home run derby, I would go nuts.
Probably so, yes. And same for the Dodgers and Kemp. Although he is rehabbing in the minors.
Yeah, I think it's a different situation. I mean, I would discourage Kemp for sure if I were the Dodgers.
Did we hear thunder in the
We
distance?
did, yeah. We saw a little lightning out there earlier too.
Okay. Be careful driving home, and we'll see you at 105 tomorrow.
Might as well stay here all day. We got a roof.
Bogusevic with strike 2. It's 0-2 to Bryant. Well, that home run derby might not be anything that would be a big risk to injury. But it's just odd when a player says, well, I could participate in the home run derby but not play in the All-Star game. I think maybe Kemp has been scratched. The runner goes now, swing and a miss, and a strikeout. Ends the 7th inning, and it's no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 men left after 7. Still 6-2 Houston. swing and a miss. And he catches Maldonado looking. And a curveball. He's really buried that curveball well today. Took the fastball away, as he did that time getting Ricky Weeks on the comebacker. So Lundy hitting good spots. He really had Gomez's number. Struck out Aoki there and had 5 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings as he extended that string to going 5 innings or more.
Wandy with a win today will go to 7-6. Much like last year, remaining a competitive pitcher and winning his fair share of games on a struggling club.
6-2 lead. Brandon Lyon out for the 8th inning with Corey Hart in the box. Fernando Abad is warming up for the Astros, and Cameron Lowe is doing that same thing for the Brewers. Now the infield shifting around, so time was called. Hart saw Altuve moving behind second base, and he stepped out. But I think Castro may have called time first of all, so they could get their infielders set up. Hart is 0 for 2 with a walk. This is the way the Astros did it against Hart earlier this year with this shift on. Tries to bunt his way on. He puts it down. Here's the bare hand play by Dominguez. Safe at first.
The big man can play the little man's game. We've seen him drop down bunt hits in the past. And when he first started to show bunt, I thought he was going to try to push it to the right side.
Yeah.
But he bunted into the teeth of that zone trap.
Boy, it's a good bunt. Well played by Dominguez. But Hart is aboard with a single. Hit number 6 for Milwaukee. Ricky Weeks to the plate. Weeks is 0 for 3. Each club with 2 errors and 8 men left on base. Out of the way, they strike one. You would probably not place this game in the category of a clinic baseball game.
No, this will not. This will not make it into the Tommy Mansky video files for baseball instruction.
Just started out as a crazy game. The Schaefer triple with Gomez trying for a diving catch, then the ejection of Greinke and Renicky in the very first inning after 2 batters. And Abad warming up. The count's 0-2. One more game before the break coming tomorrow at 1:05. Jordan Lyles and Marco Estrada. That's a 1:05 start. Astros Live begins at 12:30 tomorrow. And Steve Sparks will be filling in for JD.
We're going to the right-handed knuckleballer.
We'll do what
coming out of the pen.
Yeah, what the Brewers did today. That Ernie Shore game we talked about with Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth walked the leadoff man when he was pitching, and then was thrown out arguing with the umpire. And Ernie Shore came in and retired 27 in a row. And so that definitely gets the prize for the best relief performance in baseball history. It's getting dark out there. Lightning.
Yeah. But not the longest. Somebody went, I don't know, into the teens or 20s back in the old days. Innings of relief.
Might have been Zip Zabel.
I think it was Zip Zabel.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Do you have his baseball card?
Nope. But we should look for it. It's got to be priceless. I once worked with a sportscaster named Zip Rizeppa, though.
Zip Rizeppa?
Yeah. Zip Rizeppa. Ooh. Weeks hit by the pitch, and now the Brewers have 2 men on. Nobody out. Down by 4.
I talked about Brandon throwing that cut fastball away. This time the ball backs up on him and clips Weeks. He gets hit a lot. I don't know what the story is this year with Weeks, but typical year he gets whacked a number of times. That's number 6 for him this year.
He's the all-time Brewer record holder in getting hit by pitches. It's number 101, I believe, in his career. 2 men on now, and it's Maldonado. Maldonado 0 for 3. Dave Justy went 9 innings in relief for the Colt 45s at 62 against the Cubs in an 11-inning game.
Zip Zabel on June 17th, 1915, pitched 18 1/3 innings of relief.
18 and a third.
Yeah, 18 and a third.
Good grief.
Came in with 2 outs in the first inning, and then he went 18 and a third.
Do you know how many runs he gave up? Don't. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, if he tried to do that today, after about 9 innings of relief, the guy's agent would be on the phone demanding that he
my goodness, yeah.
be removed from the game.
Shut him down for a year.
Ken Forsch once pitched 13 innings in a game not in relief. And Don Wilson had 13. Those are the longest innings pitched games in club history for Houston. Period as starters. Fly ball off the end of the bat. Sends Jordan Schaefer over into left center field. Hard will tag at second. He's going to hold though. As the throw comes into third. 1 out.
Zabel was pitching for the Cubs, and they beat the Brooklyn Robins 4-3. The Brooklyn pitcher Jeff Pfeffer went the distance. Lost on a throwing error by his second baseman. What a jerk!
Oh, that is brutal.
That'll create dissension in the clubhouse.
Did Jeff Pfeffer pick a peck of pickled peppers?
There's a couple of Jeff Pfeffers played this game.
Really, more than one?
Yeah.
Cesar Torres is 1 for 3. George Kataris on deck, lefty hitting catcher, and Ariel Del Rosario in the bullpen for Houston. And in strike 1 to his Torres. Pitcher Spadu up next for the Brewers. There's a rumbling of thunder out there in the distance. Houston in a lot better shape for rain this year than it was a year ago this time. That was a drought. 1 ball, 1 strike. Abad and Del Rosario waiting to see Lyon working here in the 8th inning to see if they would be called into this game. It appears they're both ready if needed.
George Kataris, left-handed hitting catcher, is on deck. Abad might get the call. Should he be the hitter?
Strike makes it 1-2.
I thought Kataris might hit for Maldonado last time. He was up there with the bases loaded. Joe West expanding that zone a little bit.
Lowry went behind the runner hard at second base. No throw from Lyon. Joe West was once told by Mike Hampton to mix in a salad. Swing and a miss. And that's out number 2. That was right after Joe West said to Dennis Laborio he didn't know who Mike Hampton was, and they were at a restaurant after a game in Chicago one night. Said, "Who's the guy with the Mr. T starter set?" Mike had some gold chains around his neck. 2 outs now, and it's George Kataris pinch hitting.
And here comes Brad Mills one more time. Looks like he's got another double switch in mind.
We're not sure what the club record is for double switches. Bogusevic made the last out. Here's Matt Downs coming off the bench. See where he's going to go. He could go anywhere. We have to wait and see where he's going to be inserted because he can play so many different positions.
He's going to come in for CJ.
Yep, he's got the first baseman's mitt. So Downs will be batting 9th. No, he won't. Dominguez is batting 9th. We'll sort it out in a moment with the score 6-2 Houston. game. So the pitcher goes into the number 6 spot in the order, and the pitcher is Fernando Abad, and Matt Downs will be in the number 3 spot in the order. Abad has no decisions. His ERA is 2.95.
Fernando quietly putting together a very nice campaign here, making his 24th appearance. No wins, no losses. They were struggling early on. He has sorted things out. He's been one of the better stories for the Astros in recent weeks, as they've lost a bunch of games. He's been throwing the ball well.
And now we get a counter move. It's going to be Cody Ransom batting for George Kataris. So Kataris is burned as a left-handed batter, and percentages go back Milwaukee's way with Ransom pinch hitting for Kataris. And that will officially, let's see, they have any bench players left, JD? I think they are.
Ishikawa.
Ishikawa, yeah, he is.
He's been out there on deck, but they haven't used him yet.
2-11 for Ransom.
Be careful with Cody. He's got a little pop.
Manny Parra in 2/3 of an inning had no hits, no runs allowed, no walks, and struck out 2. Dillard 1/3 of an inning, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. There's a ball over the bag at third and inside the line and into the left field corner, scoring Hart. Weeks to third behind him to make it a 6-3 ball game. An RBI pinch double for Ransom. And now a 3-run lead and runners at second and third, and the potential tying run to the plate with Gomez.
Figured Gomez will get one more shot at redemption today. He has struck out each and every time he has stepped to home plate today. That's 4 trips, 4 punch outs, 3 times swinging. Last time he got caught looking.
Now time call. Castro goes out to talk with Abad. Gomez has whiffed all 4 times. Aoki on deck, and then Braun would bat.
It looks like Millsy's getting ready to make another move.
He's had Del Rosario warming up.
What a ball game.
He's going to go with him. Pitcher number 6 for the Astros. The Brewers also have used 6. So it's been a full day for these managers, and it's 6-3 Houston. Back in a moment. They're trying to hold off on rushing Milwaukee. The Brewers have scored 2 here in the 8th inning. They have a runner at second and 2 outs, and Enario Del Rosario has come out of the Houston bullpen for the 6th time. His ERA is 8.10 for the first 5 outings, and he will be facing a pinch hitter Ishikawa batting for Gomez.
EDR just recalled from AAA on Thursday It's his third trip to the big leagues this year. Last night, 2/3 of an inning, scoreless. He allowed one inherited runner to score.
Doug Brocail out to talk over Ishikawa with Castro and Del Rosario with 2 men on, and Ishikawa representing the potential tying run in this game. He was out, as JD mentioned, in the on-deck circle to pinch hit earlier, but then was pulled back. He's hitting .247. He has 4 homers, 17 runs batted in, and 73 at bats. And they're going over this left-handed hitting first baseman. Ishikawa, as a pinch hitter, is 3 for 17. He's driven in 4. And now the Brewers have used all their bench players as far as position players are concerned. They might have a pitcher or two who could pinch hit. Ishikawa, 28 years old, drafted by the Giants in the 21st round in 2002, was signed as a free agent by Milwaukee this winter. Pops it up. Lowry moves in near second base and handles out number 3. The Brewers come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. They leave a couple, and it's now 6-3. Presented by Chevron. It'll be Marco Estrada, and the batting average against him is .231. He's 0-3 with a 4.31 ERA. And Jordan Lyles, his record is 2-5 with a 5.40 earned run average and a .281 batting average against him. Now Cameron Lowe will be pitcher number 7 for Milwaukee, and Jerry Narron has made other changes. He's managing the club in the absence of the skipper, who was tossed, Ron Renicky, in the first inning. There's Travis Ishikawa taking over at first base. And that means Corey Hart has moved to right field, and there's Norichika Aoki in center field. Aoki in center, with Gomez leaving for the pinch hitter Ishikawa, and Hart in right. And Cameron Lowe, the big 6'8" right-hander who worked last night, is taking over. He had a hitless inning last night in the Brewers' 7-1 win.
Like his name implies, Lowe's a sinker baller. Doesn't throw hard, but gets good movement, keeps the ball down. Has a good curveball to complement that sinking fastball.
Matt Dominguez is first up. Got his first hit as an Astro last night. There's strike 1 to Dominguez. Matt is 1 for 6 as an Astro. They got that ball into the dugout as he singled to left center last night. He takes that one for a strike.
Well, his high school teammate went deep today. Moustakas for Kansas City hit his 15th.
They went to Chatsworth High School in Southern California.
Both first round picks coming out of high school that year.
Tap to third, and Ramos Ramirez swings it over to Ishikawa, 1 out.
The Royals got beat 8-7 by the Tigers today. Fielder and Young hit home runs for Detroit. Yankees jumped all over Boston early, beat them 6-1. And a day-night doubleheader. They play second game later on this evening. Mets beat the Cubs 3-1. So the Astros could jump back in front of Chicago. G beat Samardzija. Davis and Valdespin went deep.
Valdespin's kind of an interesting guy. Schaefer is 2 for 4 in this game.
Davis, a fairly productive 205 hitter, whatever he is. He's been on the interstate most of the year.
Driving in runs.
James McDonald, a winner again today. He's now 9-3. The Pirates beat the Giants 3-1. Fort McHenry hit his 7th home run.
1 ball, 1 strike. You talk about surprise players. McHenry certainly has to be one of the top 20 or so this season. Atlanta and Philly waiting through a rain delay in Philly. Joe Blanton waiting to pitch for the Phils. They got Ryan Howard back last night. 1-2.
Gio Gonzalez is a 12-game winner now. Nationals beat the Rocks 4-1. Gio now 12-3. Beat Francis. He's 2-2. Tyler Clippard with his 14th save.
Yankees 6, Boston 1.
Yeah, they jumped on him early, 4 in the first.
Raining outside now. Schaefer strikes out. And that's out number 2. Put out goes from 2 to 3. Brewers got 1 run in the top of the inning, not 2 as I said. 1 run on 2 hits, left a couple. So Brandon Lyon in 1 inning allowed 2 hits, 1 run with no walks and a strikeout, and it is pouring out there.
It's the baseball gods showing their opinion of this game. Brad Mills does not care. He's not interested in artistic merit right now. He just wants a W.
You know that. He'd stay out here until 3 in the morning. Strike to Altuve. The Troy Patton jersey down there. Troy with the Orioles now. Altuve has 2 hits, a walk and a steal. And this might be a 3rd hit into right center field. He gets it. And he's going to second. Here's a throw from Aoki, and he's tagged out. To end the 8th inning, with no runs a hit, nobody left, Aoki guns down the Astros all-star second baseman, and it's 6-3.
Being played indoors and brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Good thing it's indoors. Hey, another all-star has fallen, guys. You know, you talked earlier about Giancarlo Stanton having to leave the game. Well, he's leaving the team for about a month. He's going to have knee surgery.
Whoa.
So now they still need a replacement. I'm thinking that Bryce Harper's going to get a spot on here by attrition, although it also still keeps things open for Jed, perhaps because Desmond went out earlier today, too, so we'll just keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, it depends on the makeup of the roster and what the manager wants as far as position players. Now Brett Myers is in the game. Leading 6-3, it is a save situation. There's Aoki taking strike one from Myers, who's 17 of 19 in saves.
He hasn't had many save opportunities lately. You don't get them when you're in a losing streak.
Fastball's good for strike two.
Well, the last one he had, he gave it up.
And that was here in the final game of that homestand against San Diego. That's what started this 9-game slide for the Astros. He gave up 6 runs in 2/3 of an inning, only one of them earned. Coming in with a 3-1 lead in the 9th, including an Alexei Amarista grand slam off Myers. That's poked on a line to left and caught. J.D. Martinez there. And Ariel Del Rosario got an important out on one pitch, retiring Ishikawa with 2 men on.
Bullpen that has really struggled of late had a nice day here today. Brandon Lyon gave up a run, but there were a number of at-bats that could have really turned the feel of this game. A couple men on base, if somebody were to pop one or knock one off the wall and drive in a couple of big runs, it really would have changed the nature of this game. Would have made Myers' job a lot tougher here in the 9th. Instead, he's got this nice 3-run cushion to work with as he faces these dangerous hitters.
And Ryan Braun looks at ball one. He's been on 3 times. A walk, an error, and a single, putting him on base. Miss there. Makes it 1-1 on Braun. 23,027 the attendance today.
High cheddar. Braun pretty good at hitting that ball the other way.
Myers had a week off when he appeared Thursday in the 2-0 loss at Pittsburgh. He worked a hitless inning in that game. 2 balls, 1 strike. Myers has pitched 4 times against Milwaukee last year and twice this year. Just off the plate to Braun. That runs the count to 3 balls and a strike.
Braun, not the type of hitter you really want to throw a 3-1 cookie to, but with a 3-run lead, you certainly don't want to walk him.
13 hits for Houston, 7 for Milwaukee, each club with 2 errors. Braun puts it out of play.
Well, it's Bryce Harper. They made the official announcement, so that's who is replacing Giancarlo Stanton.
Okay.
So Harper and Trout, both the young phenoms, will be on display in Kansas City. That's good. That's good for baseball.
It is. Did you see the note on Trout? Trout's 20 and an all-star. There are something like 35 players in the futures game older than he is. Fly ball right field corner. Bogusevic over. 2 outs. Now down to 1 more out needed to snap this 9-game losing streak.
We've been waiting for this guy all day.
Yep. Ramos Ramirez is 2 for 4. Zach Greinke is on the hook for this one.
That is a hang with him right there, boy.
Sure is.
Made 4 pitches, got ejected.
That's strike 1. And Wandy Rodriguez in line for win number 7. These Astros fans standing. And they get a souvenir. 0-2. Yankees are scoring in the top of the first at Boston. 3 runners home so far against Felix Doubront. Mark Teixeira hit his 15th homer.
They scored 5 in the first last night, 4 in the first in the game 1 of the doubleheader today.
Fly ball right. Ogasevic back. And the 9-game losing streak has been snapped. Greinke gone after 2 batters and 4 pitches. Brad Mills' club starts putting things together after Greinke is in the game for those 2 batters. Then he leaves. And the Astros pound out 13 hits and win it. Final score 6-3 Houston.